Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Crimson here, bringing you another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes content video. I got a request from one of my uh, former guildmates from BRG. They were asking about like synergy between fleets, and starting out the game, you get a tutorial, you get thrown right into the game of how to battle tunes, how to level them up, and how to add gear to them, and how to train them, and you start forming up squads and all that stuff. They go over a very similar battle scene with your fleet, but not so much. You're kind of just like shown some very basic stuff, but you're not really shown too much. So let's go ahead and get right into ships real quick. And yeah, as you can see, I'm working on some stuff. All right, so we're gonna go down here to our our capital ships and our fleet commanders, how I like to call them. I guess I'm not really sure if that's. Oh, let me see here. Is that what they're really called? Uh, I guess capital ship. Yeah, whatever. All right, so you're as a starting out account, you're given like two ships. You're given Home One, which Akbar's here, and you're given let's see here. Oh, the endurance from Mace, pretty much. And those are and then on the third side of things you get Executrix for Tarkin. And all three of those ships are basically what you start off with the game. So they were asking like what ships go with what, and so forth. So first off, let's go ahead and click on Home One. It's a trap, type deal. So the biggest thing right here is you get this nice ship, you get the polygons, you get your fleet commander and whatnot, and you get all these abilities and whatnot, and people are like overwhelmed by that. But what you need to really realize and actually look is pay attention to the lettering at the top. So home one, it's light side, so it's not dark side, it's light side. Obviously, it's a capital ship because that's what we clicked on. And Rebel. This tag right here basically tells you what this ship really helps with and what the synergies are. The next thing is obviously your captain, your admiral, whatever case may be, your fleet commander is what I call them. And now, starting out the game, obviously you want all crew members which are in your ships, and then all of your fleet commanders. You want them at gear 12, and with gear 12, you want you know that 6 dot mod, so to speak, type deal. Now, you won't really get those type of mods starting out. It will take some time to get those things type deal, but I would recommend all of your fleet commanders to be at least Relic 5 and above, and all of them to have 6 dot mods. Um, However, again, 6 dot mods, they're, for this particular case on my Akbar, I have a mix match. Like, I don't really have, I just have 6 dot mods on him. I don't really have, I don't have his Omicron on his leadership ability. Though it's kind of early game, type deal. It would be kind of cool to have, not needed. But we're not talking about mods here for the most part. So with Akbar, with your fleet commanders, you want to have 6 dot mods, even if it's mixed match, it's fine. And you would be Relic 5 and above. Now, going back into the synergy, you want to start clicking on some of these abilities or tapping on the abilities type deal. Ally attacks a turn. Obviously, you want and then doubled for Rebel allies. Okay, so this is a Rebel ship. You want to have Rebel crew members or Rebel ships with this. Now, it's not to mean that and this is what you kind of go through here, clicking on these abilities. It just says random ally, dispel debuffs, type or buffs, call allies to assist, master plan. I mean, there's not really anything on here that speaks Rebel other than here and the crew, what you're getting. So obviously with this ship, it's kind of a mix max because it's great for Rebel ships, but starting out, you may not have Rebel ships unlocked. Like in I have like this old account that I've not really used. I like signed up with Hyperdrive one day and kind of forgot about it, and just recently have joined the BRG Dark Force Alignment type deal. It's a very small beginner guild. Kind of helping with that and whatnot. Most people don't know that I have this large account, as my main and primary, and also have another account that I have start like from the OG days. Not as big, kind of very free to play, whatnot. This is the Kraken account. We don't really talk about this one too much. Um, so for home one, obviously you get your advantages with rebels. That's the biggest thing. However, it also helps with things that attack out of turn. So there are ships out there and crew members, of those ships that attack out of turn. So this would actually help with not just rebels, but some of your other things. Um, so to speak, like maybe if you pair this with Geonosians that attack out of turn pretty quickly too. Not to say that you should use malevolence for Geonosians and your separatist squad and whatnot. And that's what you do. But starting out of the game, most people use Home One as their main ship, and then they start building up their rebels, and then slowly but surely. But it works with other things. So let's pop over to the Executrix with Tarkin. Again, dark side empire. So your mindset is obviously empire type deal. So obviously, empire allies type deal. So you want obviously imperial ships. Going through here doesn't really talk about anything other than the special here. Turn meter, gain of turn meter for empire allies. That's really good. Um, exposes whatnot, his quote unquote alt or when everything comes through type deal. So this is Empire. You work with your Empire things. Now, obviously, starting at the game, you're not gonna have a lot of Empire thing ships. You're gonna have like bounty hunters, and whatnot. So until you unlock, Executor with, Admiral Piet, which obviously he's dark side, he's capital ship, and he's Empire. However, his kit works with bounty hunters and also with Empire. Not so much, but it's mostly it's mostly bounty hunters here type deal. But there are Empire allies, type deal. So when you're doing the event for Executor, you're actually using some Empire ships like Imperial TIE pilot with that event too. So even though this tag says Empire, you gotta read the little, basically obviously you have your fleet commander, and then if you click on or you tap on that ability or that unique Vader's bounty or whatever the case may be next to that thing, it's gonna tell you what pairs up with what, type deal. So, there's kind of like a balance here. You have one, two, three, four, five, you know, type deal. So five capital ships are light side. One, two, three, four, five, five capital ships that are dark side. So it's kind of even out type deal. Now you do have crew members and such that are not quite, like your BTLB, Y-wing, your non-pilots, your Imperial TIE bombers. But yet, if you click on their kits, even though you don't have crew member, you're still looking at tank, Empire, Dark Side, Imperial TIE bomber. Like you get your stuff from it. So understanding the each one I'll go through here. Endurance is going to be uh, obviously light side. Mace's Galactic Republic. He works with Jedi, or is a Jedi type deal. But this main one is all allies, gain protection up, cooldown type deal, and that's really cool. A lot of people don't get this, but the other thing is, Galactic Republic. So somewhere in the kit, whether it's here or if it's down here somewhere, wherever you find some symbols, type deal, you're gonna find what works with these ships, type deal. So starting out a brand new account, I really, really, really suggest you do a few things. You get your core teams done. So you get your home one, you get your rebels, your Millennium Falcon, your bigs, your Wedge, your Biston, your Cassian, all those good ships. Because Home one is still used today. I mean, unless you're, you're die hard when you get meta right off the bat, then you're gonna go for profundity, and then you're gonna go through a very, very grueling process to get a Relic 9, character, especially with beginning out, unless you're going to be paying for some of those, or you join a guild that's already getting Relic 9 mats. But joining, like, you're first starting out right now, I would go with Home 1, get your Rebel squad out there, because Rebels, believe it or not, can still take out Executor lineups if the Executor lineups have the triple attacker. So lineup. So you basically have um, IG, Zondu Blood, and Razor Crest. If you've got the lining up and then you have Slave 1 and Houndstooth as reinforcements, you can actually knock in an Executor fleet with Home 1. So get with a Home 1, get your Rebels up, start unlocking some of those other things. You can do Executrix for a good Empire team. That's fine too. Um, but once you have a home one type deal and you're getting Empire, obviously you want to get 7 stars for all these capital ships because later down the road you're gonna be fine, type deal. There's some kind of weird, um, you know, mix and match things that you can do, but and then some counters and whatnot. Another counter to the Executor lineup is the Finalizer First Order. So First Order with basically basic lineup, and then you can add in um, let's see here, Karth's ship type deal, which is in the Old Republic. For the life of me, I cannot think of it. I remember it, type deal. Oh yeah, Ebon Hawk, of course. Um, so starting out with your account, obviously, again, work on getting your gear 12, your gear 13s on your fleet commanders, adding those 6 mods, maxing out the 7 stars. A lot of people go this route. A lot of people go with home one, and then they immediately go for a negotiator because negotiators capital ship is still used today for both defense and offense in TW as well as GAC. Negotiator is actually a much faster route to getting gas with the Fleet 1 P1 ships. You can do it with endurance, but it's a lot easier with negotiator. Trust me. Um, there's some play in terms of what Empire capital ship you should go to. There's actually two. You have the Executrix, which is OG Tarkin, which is going to be a lot faster, believe it or not, with your Empire ships. It's actually kind of a hidden meta, so to speak. A lot of people still use the Chimera for their Empire, which don't get me wrong, you can certainly do that. Uh, Thrawn has an amazing ship and synergies with Empire, but Executrix is actually faster, and you will actually get maybe your cooldown faster than you will the Chimera. But again, the Chimera has healing. It also has damage boost, and it has the one-shot kill. The Executrix has more of an AOE ultimate, but it also gives Empire ships a lot more turn meter. Uh, if you're mid tier type deal, mid tier, anywhere from 5 million plus GP. Most people have Chimera. Most people have Home One. Most people have Executrix, obviously, to getting those things in endurance and Negotiator as well. Then you're starting to see, well, what else am I gonna do? I would heavily suggest you going for Executor. Actually, on my less than a million account, my very first solo guide for the journey guide is Executor. I still think that is one of the best metas in the game for fleets. In terms of my guild, we are not getting R9s, so therefore I am not going to spend money, and I'm not going to do the profundity route for that. Now you do get some Rogue One characters, and you get some pretty beefy squads out of it type deal, but and the ship obviously does incredible. A 4-star profundity can still kill a 7-star executor. With the right mechanics and whatnot. But the R9, it's a little bit too out there for free to play players as well as those who are not in guilds that are get the R9 mats, which you have to be a 325 million plus, and to get your wins in those brackets. Um, but definitely, I would suggest, Home One, Negotiator, Chimera, Executrix, obviously Endurance. Those are going to be your basics, which have. Even if you don't want to go for endurance, fine. No worries there. You don't have to. You can skip endurance all you want to and go straight to negotiator, by all means. But you, through the training levels and the stuff in the beginning or whatnot, you're gonna get, your 7-star endurance. You're gonna get your nice little rewards out of it. Other than the rewards, not not really something you desperately need to have. Um, Malevolence, awesome ship to go through. You have Grievous, you have the Separatist squad. Separatists you're going to be using anyways in the beginning game to get Padme. And then move on from there. Geonosians, you're going to get Wat Tambor with, your Dark Side TB. Now, obviously, with the new territory battle coming out, there's not really a lot of people that are going to be going back to the dark side or light side TB stuff. The Galactic Republic offensive or separatist type deal. You're not really going to go back to those until such time because of the new TB, but still, nevertheless, Malevolence can take out can piece by piece take out a 4-star profundity, and it can also take out some higher level profundities as well. Malevolence can also take out. It can pick apart Empire like it's nobody's business whatsoever. Even if you do have the second sister ship type deal, it's still really good. Once you take out that Imperial TIE bomber, it's pretty much from there. It's home. You're home from there. Um, Another one that's not really something you need to use unless you are just someone that really wants to. Yes, Galactic Legend Ray is a must, especially in the meta with the Datacrons and whatever. But Amorata's ship, for the most part, doesn't really have too much, in the end game type deal. It's good for defense. It can be an annoying ship to clear because of all that extra bonus and protection. Again, Amoratus, Holdo's ship goes with resistance. Resistance ships, honestly, they suck, type deal because there's only basically 4 of them, and then you have to add scoundrels or add others for your extra ships in that squad. And it just takes apart from having some other backup squads type deal. Yes, it can be cleaned up, and yes, it can be annoying on defense, but not really a ship I would suggest going for. Obviously, you do need the character for it to progress with your Galactic Legend, but not a must here. So going back to your fleets and such, we'll kind of scroll up here. As you can see, anyone that's got a pilot, with the exception of Jedi Counselor, is all Relic. All of them are Relic. All of them have 6 dot mods, type deal. Lando's Millennium Falcon, okay. Eventually, I'll get him to Gear 13 and up. L3 is obviously much more valuable than Lando for multiple cases here. We won't go into that much. Um, but Raven's Claw with oh, I'm having such a blank, type deal. Oh yeah, KK. Yeah. Um, Kyle's ship. It could be left over from Home One if you use if you use some of the Home One squads for profundity and whatnot. So you can see a recurring pattern. Endurance and Negotiator are both Galactic Republic ships. Again, you don't have to go for Endurance other than rewards. It's okay to have them, whatever the case may be. Profundity and Home One are both Rebel slash Rogue One, but they're still Rebels. Type deal. So Profundity is a whole heck of a lot more better in terms of meta right now, but again, we won't go into that talk. Finalizer First Order, you have 2 Empire ships, you have a Resistance, type deal. So there's, a lot to play around. Each one has, for the most part, 2 of each, and then you have like those are just like off the walls. So you have Galactic Republic, Bounty Hunter and Empire, Rebel, Galactic Republic, Separatist, Empire, First Order, Empire, Resistance, and Rebels again. So those are your fleet commanders, your capital ships, and then the rest goes with what. So I'll do another video here shortly with what squads actually go with what. So now we've gone over fleet commanders, we'll go into the second time. So stay tuned for part two.